So today's fan question comes in from Chisomo. Link to your channel is going to be in the description, my friend. Thanks so much for providing today's topic. It was actually a topic that I had planned on talking about, or I guess was debating on talking about on a show. And when I saw your question, I was like, yeah, now I'm going to have to discuss it, because it looks like the the demand is out there to hear I guess my answer to this question, and that is, should video game journalists actually be good at games? So if you're unfamiliar with this story, it came out a couple of days ago. It was about this video game journalist, has 21 years of experience covering games, I think 29 years as a journalist altogether, and got invited out to an event to go and play the game Cuphead. Got there, you know, they always give them a certain amount of time to play the game and capture footage, and then of course they want them to come back and, you know, post their footage on their blog or website or whatever. It's not really a review because the game is not even out yet. It's just more of a, I guess, the first impressions, if you will. I do those on my channel. And this gentleman decided to post 26 minutes of gameplay footage, and it was not stellar gameplay, guys. It was not even average gameplay. It was very, very tough gameplay to watch. There was no commentary to it, which I think would have added a lot to the video. It was just 26 minutes of this person dying a ton of times at this game. And this is not necessarily a new thing. You know, there are YouTubers out there who will put together videos like this, and they're kind of like a joke or whatever, like a Dark Souls game. They typically would do them as a montage, and you do like maybe 5 minutes of fails or something like that. But it was just raw gameplay, and it was tough. It was very tough to watch, very painful to watch. I think the most concerning part of this video was the fact that the journalist failed so many times, or I guess failed for a certain amount of time during the tutorial. Basically, I think the tutorial starts off, you have to run left to right. It teaches you that. You got to duck, teaches you that. Teaches you that you can jump by pressing X or whatever the jump button was in the game. I don't know which console he was on. You have to jump over this cube. The cube is probably about the size of the character on screen, your character. And then to the right of that cube is a cylinder, like a shape. And the game wants you to learn how to get past a taller object, right? A really super high object. And the cylinder was probably 2 or 3 times the size of the block, the cube. And it was trying to teach you that you can jump from the cube over the cylinder by doing another button prompt, which is a dash move that you can do in midair. If you guys have played like a 2D game before, a lot of them have like a double jump mechanic or a jump dash mechanic or something like that. And that's what it was trying to teach him how to do. Now, unfortunately, he could not pull it off. He sat there for a couple of minutes, tried to make it work and couldn't. Then he finally got through the tutorial, got into the game, the first level in the game, and couldn't even get halfway for a good while in that video, and he did not complete the first level of the game. So to answer the question, should video game journalists be good at games? I say yes. I say that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be pro level. Nobody's saying that. Well, I have heard some people say that on the YouTube videos, but you just need to be decent. That's it. You need to be able to at least tackle things like a tutorial in a game. You know, that should be something you should definitely be able to conquer. Maybe you can't beat a game like Dark Souls or something like that, but you should be able to play a game at least from a functional standpoint. And that's kind of where we segue into the second part of this, because when I read the article that the journalist posted, I was expecting some kind of clickbait, or like a clickbait title, or I was expecting this person to come out the gate saying, I'm a pro gamer, you know what I mean? Nobody can touch me playing video games. But this game sucks because it has bad gameplay mechanics and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, totally blame it on the game. In other words, the 26 minutes of him performing badly is not his fault. It's the game's fault. I can't stand when gamers do that. I know sometimes we do it during live comms because we're in the heat of the moment, but typically in a live comm, if you're playing an entire game, you will learn stuff as you go and change your tone as you play. But like I said, in this person's gameplay, we had no commentary, no barometer on like what this person's feeling or what's going on. It's just gameplay, it's just fails. And so that's what made it painful. But when I read the article, the very first sentence of the article, the gentleman says, I suck at Cuphead. So, you know, when a person starts their article off with, I suck at this game, I don't see anything misleading about that. I think that he was trying to make light of the situation, because I think he knew that this is just not his game. You know what I mean? It's not his cup of tea. And I think the joke was not heard correctly by readers and viewers. That's what I think has happened here, Chisomo. I don't think it's as big as the internet saying. A lot of people saying, oh, discredit the dude. You know, all 21 years of his work when it comes to the video game industry, discredited, can't be trusted. And then they take it a step further. No video game journalists can be trusted now. They probably all suck at games. And it's that thing that the internet does where they blanket everybody based on one situation. I find it to be like this, guys. If we both sit down tomorrow and try to do a crossword puzzle and you solve it 10 minutes quicker than I do, but I eventually solve it, well, you know, what does that show? It just shows that maybe my brain took a little longer to figure it out than yours did, but it doesn't mean I'm stupid, because I did figure it out. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I did solve that problem. It just took me longer. So if this was a review and he couldn't get through the game because he couldn't do a jump dash tutorial, and then he wants to say that the game is challenging, well, then he can't be trusted. But that's not what this was. This was like a first impressions. And so I think he was trying to just sell the joke that not only is the game challenging, which they marketed it that way, but I'm just not good at it. And guess what? Here's the proof. Here's 26 minutes of me not being able to do some of the simplest things. That I think we can all side with gamers. I think we've all had those issues where we have that simple thing, and it doesn't have to be just a tutorial, guys. I think that's where the heat's coming from, but just because it's not in the tutorial doesn't mean that it's not simple. We all have faults when it comes to games. This dude just decided to be honest and legitly show you his. And he was honest about it. I suck at Cuphead. He did say that the game was challenging, and he said he felt like it was unfair at certain places, right? He said that in the article, and it very well might be. It looks like a game that's probably going to treat the gamer unfairly sometimes. Dark Souls treats the gamer fairly at sometimes, but we all love that game. Most of us do. So we just have to be careful about this. I'm not going to lynch the dude. I'm not going to let it upset me or get me all crazy, and I'm not going to pick on the guy. But I do agree with the internet that it was painful to watch. That's true. But that doesn't mean that it has to be, that doesn't mean the person has to be discredited. And that's what I'm going to talk about in tomorrow's show from my perspective, and I think other YouTubers' perspective when it comes to posting content on the internet for the world to see. It's a pretty exposing thing to do. So that's where I'm coming from. I think it's just an overblown situation, and I'm giving the dude a pass. I'm giving him a pass for at least being honest. And even in his follow-up article, he was super honest, and said it was just a bad joke going wrong. He thought it would be funny. He thought he would be able to let people laugh with him. But unfortunately, this is the internet. And if you're on the fence about posting something and you're hoping that people laugh with you versus laughing at you, it's more than likely going to be laughing at you. So that's it. Hopefully I can see you guys tomorrow. You guys be good.